Yeah, what's up with it? Do it cause I love it and I stuck with it. We ain't with the subbing in the cut with it. Please, none of the talks, I heard enough of it. Like, what you gonna do? Where you at? Who you with? You ain't really about this, don't talk about it. Really on the move, on the map, never slip. Keep your hands to your lips, don't talk about it. Real eyes, real lies all the time. Stand on it, if we said it, we don't walk around it. Loose lips, sink ships, red cup, blue strips, new phone, who this? No, we don't allow it. Really on go, I don't know what's an off day. Now we on road, came from smoking in the hallway. Now we got...
What's up? What's up? What's up? We are here. I almost said something else. I almost went into song mode, dog. Don't do me like that.
You almost did the Martin. What up? What?
Y'all, he said, what's up? What it is? What's up?
Oh.
That's why I said, don't do me like that. He hit that. Okay. I had to like that feeling, but we are here. Yeah. We hope y'all are well. It's Friday. It's Friday. What more can I say? It's Friday. It's been a long week.
It's Friday. You ain't got no job. You ain't got shit to do.
No, I got one of them. But,
well, I don't, so I guess.
It's coming.
It wasn't that. I mean, the week was all right. It moved kind of fast on my end. It was all right. It was all right.
Before we get started,
not too bad.
Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell on the YouTube so that you can know that when we are on or posting stuff. Because apparently that's what happened where people are not knowing when we're coming on. That notification bell. Thank you.
You have to say it straight because I forgot I was supposed to share this out. So let me.
Didn't I send that to you hours ago?
I got you.
You know what?
Not that, but the live.
Oh, okay. I'm just saying.
I think them people be clocking us too.
You think what?
Them people be watching us. Them people be.
I'm sure. So we gonna give them something to watch then.
If they do, it's probably because of your language.
Who language?
DA.
DDA. No, I ain't because of my language. I speak English.
I'm gonna plead the fifth on that one and go on by my business. So definitely make sure you hit the notification bell on the podcast page. We greatly appreciate you. Also, we are on IG, Facebook, as well, of course, YouTube, and TikTok as well. Audio-wise, Pandora, Spotify, iHeart, all those wonderful things. So we are always at your disposal.
Yep, you can hear us. If you're blind, you can hear us. If you want to see us, you can see us. Only thing we don't have is the sign language lady.
Right.
I know how to do sign language. I know how to do one sign language. That's it.
Right, Francine already on it this morning. Yep, Francine already on it. Hold on.
What's going on? What up, Fran?
Yeah, Fran said, baby, this new job, the microaggressions are real.
Well, Fran, we are here.
Fran, you stopped scripting at night?
We are here.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about it because
to talk about these things, some of these things, I get some input and advice and figure out how to deal with these things and all those things as far as microaggressions.
It happens more than not.
Got my opinions. I'm gonna keep them to myself. I'm gonna let y'all ride first.
Yeah, so I know Fran gonna shoot him off.
Well,
So
go ahead, man. Go ahead and start it off, DA. Let's talk
I'm
about
gonna let y'all
have we
ride. I'm gonna let
experienced any
y'all
micro?
get it out.
Oh,
so first, starting off
okay.
for people that don't know what microaggressions are. Microaggressions are subtle, often unintentional comments. I disagree with the unintentional that can convey prejudice or discrimination towards marginalized groups. They are typically small, seemingly innocuous remarks or behaviors that can be harmful and contribute to a hostile or uncomfortable environment. So,
Okay, so let's talk about that one part that you disagree with, the unintentional. Because if it's unintentional, is it still considered microaggression, or does that go over into the straight up racist department?
No, if it's
And I think
unintentional, that
that's
means they don't mean to do it.
I think it'd be intentional.
exactly.
That's why I don't agree with
So
the
if it's intentional, then it's not classified as micro. Well, because it's intentional, that it's not classified as microaggression. And what I mean by unintentional is a lot of times they may not realize that that's how they're coming across.
Yeah, see,
And I think that's that
all.
fine line. Now, I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but I think that's the reason for inserting that word unintentional into the definition, because there's some people that don't realize because of what they're used to, you know.
And that's that key word right there.
That's
what
the
you
difference.
said
What they're used
is
to.
what I was gonna say.
Yep.
What they're used to.
Because if
Like,
they're not used to being around people that look like you and I did, and then all of a sudden we come around and they're doing little things, not realizing that that's how they're coming across. And I think that's the only difference. And I think that's why that word is put in there. Now, not all the time, but
certain things like
I
what,
think a lot of times, well, like, you know how, say for instance, if you get a job, right, in an office full of nothing but white women, and then all of a sudden they're saying little comments or touching you in a certain way that's you feel like it's inappropriate. That's my
That black stallion in the building.
Hey, they having a mandingo. They having a mandingo fantasy.
That's my, but that's microaggression, though. You know, things like that. You know how some people
what if they just
that have not been on people with locks and ask if they can touch my hair. What if it's what?
Yeah, that part right there.
I didn't catch that.
That part is, I agree with that part. The hair part, no.
Yeah.
But is it? But then, can it be considered microaggression, or is it just curiosity? Because, like, reason why I say that is because when I was in Korea, and Americans used to tell me this before I even got there. They was like, "You are gonna look like a superstar because the only people that's your size, your stature, are either some type of athlete, so bodyguard or something." And I'm like, whatever. Yeah, whatever. I get over there and that's what it was. I get the stares, the pointing.
Right. So in that aspect, so that's based upon the person on the receiving end. And we'll get into that part like later on. I don't want to go too far right now, but that's based on how you receive it. And that's why I was telling Fran, we'll hash it out and get to the point of now, how do you deal with microaggression? First of all, we got to identify, is it microaggression? Is it racism? Or is that person just being condescending?
It just, and that's one of the things I was going to get into. Is like,
it depends on the person.
That's one of the things I was going to get into. Like, how is it considered microaggressions? Is it the way they say it or how you perceive it?
I think that's where that word unintentional comes into play. Because it's that unintentional aggression. Like you walking down the street and a lady parked in a car locks her doors as you get close to her car. situations like that, how do you feel in that moment? Do you feel like if I was white, would she still have locked her doors? Or is it just because I'm a 6'6", black guy that wears all black and stuff like that?
But yeah. But what? So then that goes
like,
where does that come from? Like,
I think that's just that's one of them things when you don't understand certain cultures, when you don't understand that you wearing black or whatever is because you look slim, not because you're trying to portray yourself to be a certain way, or as you get in the elevator and she clutches her purse. But what else you get? I don't want to stay there too long.
But I feel you, because it's like I'm still with it all, because like you say, it could be something that somebody's not exposed to, but people are exposed to people of all types on a daily basis. And I think the racism is going to show anyway in those situations where we all had that perfect example of you could be walking on the sidewalk and a white woman passes by. Black people, we're just walking, minding our business, and they grab their purse, or they move their purse to the other side. Baby, you probably ain't got number 2 nickels in there. We don't want it.
Shit, black people do that shit with me too.
I mean, but in not defending, but you can't come off, and it's because of your height. You can't help height, weight. You're gonna get attention no matter what. Like, you can't disappear in a crowd. Nobody is going to miss you. You stand taller than everybody. So that's just that's your height thing. That's
like microaggression towards me.
No, I don't have microaggression towards you. But I'm finna take you back down memory lane. Do you remember the first time we was at the church and you came to church with us that day, and Santi seen you, and he was like, looked up and was like, he like turned back around, but he eventually warmed up to you though. But mostly that is intimidating. Your height and your size a lot of times is intimidating, I feel, more than the color of your skin a lot of times, because I've seen I've seen a tall white guy before, and I've seen kids look like the fuck. I think a lot of times it's more of just the height and the stature.
Okay.
Because after that, once the ice is broken, you turn into a playground. It's like the kids like, oh yeah, put me on your shoulders, put me on your back. Everybody like, yeah, you like.
You want to wrestle? I'm gonna tackle you. No, I'm too old for that shit.
Definitely.
Okay.
So, going through the list, doing the research. First, we'll call out the racial microaggressions. Example: asking someone, "Where are you really from?"
Is that a microaggression? That's like, because reason why, okay, I look at it like this. Even in the United States of America, people have different cultures within this culture. The North is different from the South. The South is different from the Midwest. The Midwest is different from the West Coast. And the West Coast is just weird. So I don't see that as a microaggression. Now, when it becomes a microaggression is when you say, "Oh, I'm from Texas," and they rebuttal, "Oh no, where are you really from?" That's when it starts to be like, okay, motherfucker, now you trying to be slick. Now you trying to be funny. Now you trying to get deeper than what I just told you. And for me in that situation, because it happened a couple times. Now you just ask them, like, what are you getting at? Are you talking about me, or are you talking about my ancestry? And kind of spin it back on them, because a lot of the times they're not thinking that deep. They're thinking like, oh, you don't sound like us. You don't sound, especially like when I go home in Florida, my accent has gone. And folks are asking me all the time. They're asking me, you don't sound like us. Where are you from? And I'm like, I was born and raised off of Six Trump. And I have to basically almost damn near justify, convince them that that's where I'm from. But yeah, yes,
So
that is a definite microaggression. What Q just said. Now I had that happen, and it kind of irritated the hell out of me. Saying that you speak so eloquent, or you can articulate very well.
Yep. You talk like you're white. Stop talking white.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. I highly agree.
You know that, or you don't sound black. What the fuck, black?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck, black?
But I'll do y'all one better, man. I was in a restaurant the other day. I wanted to say Wednesday. I was in a restaurant. Huh? I was in a restaurant Wednesday, and the the server lady, she was like some sort of Asian lady, Korean, and every time she walked up, she would change her voice to kind of mimic how a black person would speak. But whenever she would was like, and I got mad at first, and I was about to say something to her, but I thought about it. What's the point? Like, what would it prove? And what I did was oh, is he good?
Yeah.
So what I did is I just stopped talking to her, and I just started talking to the other server, and eventually she got the picture like that. But yeah, man, every time she walked up, and the first time she did it, I thought I was tripping. I was like, is she switching up her voice? And sure enough.
And you should have called on it, because
what do I think about those type of situations?
You should have called on it.
She's trying to be down.
It's like they
and I thought, yeah.
I said they think that they think that's how we talk, for one, which is way off, like way off. And two, they are basically like I said earlier, they're trying to code switch, and that's not being authentic. So that you don't respect me enough as a customer to be your real self. You trying to fit into this demographic that you think I'm gonna treat you better because you sound like think you sound like one of us. Nah.
Yeah, I agree. And man, like, I literally started to open my mouth and ask her, but then I was like, why? Like, what's the expected outcome? Is she gonna deny it? Is she gonna admit it? Is she gonna correct it? Why? And I couldn't come up with a good why, so I just didn't deal with her anymore. And I just dealt with the other server lady. Yeah. So let me ask y'all this question, right?
Okay.
So, do y'all think body language could be a form of microaggression?
Of course. That's just like that same situation with you walking down the street and somebody start locking their door when they see you, or grab their purse, or yeah. And I think for us, when it comes down to being in the workplace, I think we get this, I'm gonna say women, we get those looks, or somebody telling us to fix our face, or we look like we're mean, or vice, those little slight little remarks. And it really be like, y'all don't know that it's just we don't fuck with you, we don't like you. Not that we mean, we just don't rock with you like that.
But see,
I mean, that's just being
so
honest.
essentially, what was you gonna say, DA? Go ahead, bro.
I was shit. The hell I was about to say. Oh, but sometimes you have to understand the culture. And what I mean by that is, I had to learn this in, again, Korea, Iraq, and everything. So people don't like you, and like different cultures don't like you to hand them stuff. They'll put it on the counter and push it over. And so if you don't know that, you could take that like, oh, yo, you don't want to touch my hand, you don't want me to touch your, you see what I'm saying? But because you just don't know. So that type of body language can be like, oh, I think he got a problem with me, and it's just their culture. Like another instance, excuse me, in the Middle East, if you show somebody the bottom of your feet, that's disrespectful. So like when you cross your legs and stuff like that, if the bottom of your foot is facing them, they take that as a sign of disrespect. And so in other cultures, like they don't look you in the eye. If you look somebody in the eye, that's a sign of disrespect, stuff like that. So if you don't know these things and you're doing them, which I've seen people do them and get their feelings hurt after somebody explained it to them. But if you don't know these things, then you'll take it as a microaggression. Now, if it's blatant or you explain it to them or they understand and they keep doing it, then yeah. Now they just trying to be funny. Now you got to shank them.
Oh.
So let me ask you this question, because T said something earlier, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're talking about they ask you to fix your face at work, and you be like, well, no, you know what I'm saying? I just don't like that person. So is that still considered microaggression, or is that something else? Because if you
straight
intentionally tearing your face up because you don't like someone,
but
it's straight aggression.
It's like
about that.
Yeah, it's like just the straight of, the assumption is black people always look mean, especially black women. That we look mean or we mean mugging. That's like a lot of dudes, which even black, they'll tell you, smile. You look better when you smile. I ain't gonna say what my response typically may be, but you don't know why that person is.
Say it.
No. So no. I'm like, motherfucker, don't worry about what my face look like. I don't like your ass. That's why my face look like this. And I knew you was coming over here to try to talk to me. Hell, go.
She probably be the one talking about, tell your mammy to smile.
Wow.
Hey,
no. All of that just because somebody trying to be nice, but I ain't gonna get off into
it. Telling somebody to smile is not being nice. How about trying to maybe try another approach to say something or just greet somebody in a friendly way versus coming up trying to tell somebody what to do?
How about just don't talk to their ass?
But that's what I'm saying. Usually you're not talking to them. You can be in line at the grocery store paying for your groceries and person comes up, smile. Or when they got the additive smile, damn, why you looking mean? Because I'm over here minding my business. Mind yours.
You heard Lil Duval, smile, bitch, smile.
I'm living my best life.
Yeah.
I ain't going back and forth. Anyways, let's move on.
But back to that little piece of the racial part that I mentioned. is the question implies that a person is an outsider and not truly part of the community. That's why it's a microaggression. But go ahead, D.
I can see that.
Yeah. Go ahead, sir.
I can see that. And I get asked that question a lot because of my name and because I don't speak like people up here, you know. They have a real strong draw when they talk, you know, North Texas. I'm from San Antonio, Texas. My words are a little closer together when I speak. So, yeah, I get that a lot. And I'm like, and plus, you know, the name don't make it no better.
Nope, because I'm sure somebody asked you, do you know how to fix Mexican food?
Wait. Ain't nothing about your name Mexican.
His last name is Acosta.
Okay.
To some people, he's a black dude with a Mexican name. That's what it is.
Spanish.
Mexican. Yeah, I bet you can make Mexican food.
I guess that's just in that area. Because, yeah. And again,
and that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
In this area. Yeah, you know, this area that I'm in, you know, I get it a lot. I get it a lot. You know. But anyways, so I was gonna ask about like those inappropriate jokes. The microaggression in that space when people tell you a joke that they think is funny and you be like, oh fuck that. Okay.
So what kind of joke? Now, if it's corny, like
just any joke that you feel is inappropriate.
Like if they said black man, white man, and Chinese man walked into the store, then I'm be like, okay, you about to get your Kool-Aid patch split.
You sure are violent.
But yeah, he's been on it the last couple weeks. Last week he was talking about it. Anyways, yeah.
You need a
so those inappropriate jokes, it could be jokes like that. I have never thought that those overly sexual jokes were funny. I just don't like them. I think they're distasteful. And I don't like when people send them to me. I don't respond to them. You know, and just because I'm a dude, why do you think that I would think this is funny? I don't think it's funny. Yeah. So
I like what Q put on here as well. He said following a person of color around the store while they shop is a microaggression.
No, because y'all ass steal.
Yeah, that. And how many movies? Let's be real. How many movies have we seen where black folks go into a store and they're being followed around?
Hurry up and buy.
Yeah, buy now. Leave.
But see, that's a microaggression too. Just saying that.
Yeah, that's what you're saying.
It happens.
Yeah.
Or a lot of
people. I'm talking about when I said hurry up and buy.
Yeah.
That's a microaggression.
Exactly. But that's also one of the cultures that we get that from the most.
Yeah. Oh, the other one. We all drank grape Kool-Aid, grape soda.
We don't.
I mean, we do, don't we?
No, we don't.
I love grape Kool-Aid.
Grape Kool-Aid.
Last night.
They mix that grape Kool-Aid with the tropical. Bam.
You feel me? It ain't tropical. It's called red.
You know what? Oh, Jesus. There we go. But yeah. So let me ask y'all this.
Hold on. You got to hit one on the head. He just knocked one out the park on that one.
Where it go?
A white person referring to CP time is an inappropriate joke.
Ooh.
Yes.
That is.
Yeah.
Yep.
That is.
Yes.
I have experienced that in corporate.
Yeah.
And that's when you start. That's what. Hey, Like Bernie Mac said, that's when you have some furniture moving.
Yes. Yeah. And I had to look. I remember being told that joke when I worked at Caremark, and I heard somebody say that, and I looked, and I was like, but it became almost an everyday thing because the person really was always, she was late.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like that little, girl, you really be on CPT time. You just can't get to work. And I was like, do you really know what that means?
And what she said?
And that they froze.
Because they know.
Yeah. What it mean, Cletus? Go on, tell me what it means so I know that you know what it means. What it mean?
Mm-hmm.
And there was like dead silence.
Yep.
And then I think I got called into HR like 2 days later.
But see, that's the thing. And see, that's the part that pisses me off. That irritates me because folks have gotten in trouble for standing up for themselves because the perpetrator turned into the victim. I felt like they were attacking me. Nah, bitch, you said the wrong shit. You said something slick. Somebody checked you.
Plain and simple.
Yeah. Oh, I got one for you. Everybody gonna say on this one. What about he or she is pretty for a black person?
Or
for a dark skinned person?
Yep.
Or you cute for a big girl.
Yep.
Like, bitch, I'm cute. Even when I'm small, I go up and down in sizes. I'm cute any damn way.
Like a gerbil. So it's just like it's. So then it goes back to what I asked earlier: is it the message, or is it the messenger, or the receiver? Because they could be saying that.
I think it's the receiver.
Because they could be saying that just because, yeah, you are for a black girl.
Yeah.
And that could be just the ones that they've seen.
Okay, so how do you feel about people saying, oh, you're so cute because you light skinned?
That shit don't happen to me.
So let me say this, right? And I think this is that line right there, because people were not exposed to different cultures. And that's what I was trying to express earlier. If this person is from Denver, Colorado, right, and they moved to San Antonio, Texas, so we know Denver, Colorado is the healthiest city in the U.S. Most of the people there are thin, they're in shape, they work out. They may not have been around too many chunky black girls. So when they come to San Antonio, they don't know how to respond to them. So when she sees her, or when he sees her, he's like, wow. So that's that unintentional part again. I don't think they know how they're coming across. So that's why it's based on the person on the receiving end. How do you feel in that moment? How's this comment making you feel?
Okay.
And that's just, one side of it.
And that's
another reason why I moved to Denver.
Yeah. That's how I was trying to get. That's part of what I was trying to get at about, like, because they, like you just said, they may have never been exposed. Shit, they never been exposed to black people. And the only exposure they got is from what they see on TV, cops, hip hop, shit like that. So they see somebody who's way outside of that boundary, they like, damn, all y'all don't act like that. Or you can speak well. Like,
so you're like, wait, hold up, who is y'all? Like, what?
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, and that's when you had that candid conversation. Now I say, once it flips to microaggression, is because they know, they have been educated, they know, and they continue. Now you just trying to be.
So at that point, it's no longer microaggression at that point, because then it's a choice, and they're choosing to continue to act the way you asked them not to. So it's not microaggression then. Then it's just So then it's just racism. Then it's just being condescending. Then it's just straight up. So now you're choosing to be aggressive. So when I match your aggression, because it's no longer microaggression, that's that line I'm trying to find. Because now it's a choice. It's not unintentional. You're choosing this now. So,
but
I gave you a pass on the microaggression aspect of it, right?
It still could be microaggression
that's the difference.
No, let me finish. It could still be because the underlying tone for microaggression is minimizing a person, race, religion, whatever. So regardless if they consciously do it, huh? I mean, I think that's just semantics. Yeah. The reason why I say it, because I say it might be semantic, because intentional or unintentional, it still happens, regardless if they try to do it or not. It still happens, and it's not like they're being straight to the face. I hate niggas. They're trying to do the shit on a sneak tip.
Oh,
you know, but if it happens in the workplace, right? So if you're having an issue with someone in the workplace and you address it and they keep on, right, then it's not considered microaggression. Like now they're targeting you. Like now, like it's literally a choice. So they cannot hide behind that microaggression umbrella anymore. That's the difference right there. When it becomes a choice,
we agree to disagree. Because I think regardless, because if it's not, if it's not blatant, like come out, I'm with the right wing. I hate Jews and all that. But I can sit there and like, man, you sure is good with money. I bet you like watermelon, something like that.
A fried chicken.
Yeah. Or what you got for lunch?
Do you consider that microaggression?
Something like that, and then you start looking at people's side. Oh, I'm gonna wait. I'm finna hit y'all over here with one. And this one we see all the time to the point where it
I want to say it.
Okay.
All lives matter.
Oh.
All lives matter.
Do you think that's microaggression?
Yeah, that's a microaggression.
I don't think it is. I think it's a choice. I think
about what it's in reference to. They only talk about it when it comes to people saying Black Lives Matter. So when that happens, they're basically diminishing that Black Lives Matter and saying that everybody matters. We all know that. You know everybody matters, but shit, we just trying to be even. We ain't trying to get ahead of nobody. We just trying to be even. We just trying to be on the same wavelength.
And when you express that right there, and when you express what you just expressed, and they choose to ignore it, it no longer falls under the microaggression umbrella.
I think, yeah,
that's the difference.
I think it still does because it's not as blatant. Because it can't be intentional, subtle. It can't be intentional and not intentional. Because then if it's not intentional, then how is it? What's the word I was going to say? How is it an issue if it's not intentional? If you don't know what you don't know, how is it a problem?
Because the only reason why they say that is because all lives didn't matter until Black lives didn't matter. Once people started saying Black Lives Matter, then they started saying all lives matter. So it's a form of retaliation. That's like, if all lives matter, right? Then how come we don't have the same passion for Black lives? But you choose not to listen. So now you're retaliating against what I'm saying. So it's retaliation. It's just straight up aggression.
You're belittling what I'm saying.
So yes, right.
Yeah. So I love what
but
you said.
What else you got?
Q said a person rolling their eyes at something I said is a microaggression. That means you have a problem with what I said without verbalizing it.
Well, then I got microaggressions. I ain't even gonna lie.
But is that microaggression, or is that person just being condescending now because they're trying to belittle your mental? How
either
you
way it go,
express yourself.
I got it.
So that's just condescending right there, Q.
Yeah. Either way it go, I've done it because people say shit, and I be like,
yeah.
Like, I know he ain't say that.
Okay, so let me ask y'all this.
Is that because
Go ahead, dude.
No. I was gonna say, is that because you don't think that they have the mental capacity to say something profound, or you could, like, what's the purpose of that? Of the eye roll?
They just did something stupid. They don't make no sense
to you.
Yeah.
So that's not microaggression. That's being condescending. That's the point I was trying to make.
Mm-hmm.
So if she rolls your eyes at what you say, Q, then that's not microaggression. She's insulting your intelligence, basically condescending.
Okay.
What it is, Maurice? What it is, my brother? Good to see you, man. What's up, Sean? Good to see you. All right.
So
that's a difference because.
Lord, everybody freeze? No, that was defroze.
I'm waiting. Go
okay.
Oh, so question.
Oh,
so of course.
Am I good now? Okay.
Yeah, you good. You came back. You was like, yeah. Of course, working in the workplace, you have different cultures, people. What I've noticed working in I ain't the only one. I'll put it like this. I'm not the only one who has noticed that at the place where I work at, you can tell that they do not like Black people. The Black people are there to make it look even. Like, mixed culture, you got to have a token or two in there to make it look like, hey, we like y'all, but we need y'all money even if we don't. So the other day, typically when people bring stuff into work, people bring donuts. That's the classic thing that people like to bring to work. Donuts, muffins, some kind of breakfast type bread. The other day, somebody bought cornbread.
I wouldn't be mad. I'll eat the shit out of that cornbread.
And it was during the day, there is only me and another lady that is there. But the cornbread kept getting presented to us.
It was getting little?
Nah, see, they kept trying to make them an extra in life. You gonna eat this cornbread?
So the funny part,
I don't know. Nah, I think.
You think what?
Go ahead, T.
Because the funny part of it was
I don't.
Cornbread dog.
Go ahead. We got to land.
Because the funny thing of the part was, like I said, it kept being presented to us, and if you paid attention to the two of us, they would notice that we don't eat a damn thing that's bought in there. People come in, oh, you want because y'all know me. I am very OCD with food. I don't need everybody cooking. I don't do potlucks and all that other stuff. And I've seen visually when folks come cook in there that they don't wash their hands, that they eat out the pot and they feed people out the pot that you're serving to everybody in whole. So I do not partake as well as the other young lady does not partake neither.
Hey, did they cornbread have corn cob in it?
You know what? I'm gonna be honest and tell you, it was purchased from HEB.
So
it looked legit, but you couldn't have picked them donuts up that's next to that cornbread, dog. You literally bought cornbread.
They ran out of donuts,
and that's what I was gonna say. I know some cultures that like cornbread as much as the black culture, and I know from experience. I'm not trying to say you're wrong. However, I was married into other cultures, and they enjoy cornbread as well. So I was not there. Not saying you're wrong. However, other people like cornbread.
I wouldn't say it was a microaggression until they kept offering it to you. Now, if they would have offered it to everybody the same way, then okay, y'all just trying to get rid of the food.
Yeah, I got offered like
that's just like motherfuckers trying to offer black people a watermelon. I'm talking about all Mexicans know how to make tortillas. All Hispanics know how to make tortillas.
I take it. I take it.
Yeah, because I don't like watermelon. I'm gonna be truly honest with you. I don't like watermelon because one, I don't like seeds in the watermelon, and I don't care if nobody talking about it's seedless. There's still seeds in the damn watermelon.
And now seedless is manufactured.
So yeah, I don't eat watermelon.
So I said they like biscuits more, and that may be true. However, I'm just saying they like cornbread just as much. All right.
So
this is the question, right?
Oh no, Q, there was no honey. It literally was cornbread, but the killer was the pieces was cut about this big. They was like, I mean, it was little pieces, almost like you doing the Lord's Supper at church. It was little bitty. It was cut in a little bit. It was like square pan, and it was cut like this big. Now I could have probably went maybe saw it maybe not as intentional like a black thing. Maybe if they had honey, because there's a lot of Hispanics that's there, but no, it was just cornbread. Q said cornbread Tic Tacs.
Okay. I saw that. I was trying to ignore it. So this thing on microaggression, right? So let me ask you this, right? So how do we deal with microaggression when you're in a situation to where you feel like this person, this individual, whether it's in the workplace, whether it's at home, and the reason why I say at home is because certain jokes and stuff well, that's not funny. Hanging out with friends. How do you deal with microaggression?
You gotta confront.
That little. You have to confront it. That's just it.
Because if not, it's basically gonna be saying that you agree with it or you are okay with it. That's just like somebody's pinching you every time they see you, and you don't say nothing. You basically accept approving of it, saying it's okay.
Church folks, them old church ladies used to do that crap. Always pinch you in them old anus.
That wasn't microaggression. Them old ladies was just mean. They was just mean.
You sure got pinched. You sure got.
No, I didn't, because I wasn't in trouble like you. Anyways,
you wasn't what?
Stay focused.
You know what?
So, how do you deal with microaggression? I'm trying to stay focused. I ain't gonna let you draw me into that little.
Honestly,
bro,
I will address it. I will be honest. At work, I've kind of let some shit slide because I need my job. But as I have become to a point of, okay, stop y'all shit, I'm verbalizing and saying stuff, but I'm getting that because I'm saying something, now I'm getting the look that, oh shit, we finna go off, or we're gonna have to call 911 because she's saying something back, or she said she didn't like it, or she didn't find it was funny. Yeah, now I'm getting those looks. So it's like the walking by, it's like we walking by passing each other in the hallway, and it's like that look. Like I told you the situation with the little young chick trying to be funny a few weeks ago. Yeah, because it's like, to me, in that environment, like I said, the amount of Black people is very small, so it's like they pass off more duties to us versus the others. We can all be on a straight playing field. Like, you got the teacher do this, but the other teacher's load is lighter, but they constantly dumping stuff on the Black people. As for me, I'm supposed to be a cook, but I took the job. That's what it was. I'm the cook, the janitor, the damn near the nurse, the receptionist, a damn.
I'm your mama, I'm your daddy, I'm the niggas in the alley.
So I also feel.
So let me. Let me say this real quick. So, in that space, right?
Mm-hmm.
How many times do you check yourself? Do you be real with yourself? Like, if I'm walking down the sidewalk in a kind of shady neighborhood downtown San Antonio or whatever,
that's
and the
my
lady
space
clenches
right
her purse, right? And I feel some kind of way. But then, so in that space, do I check myself? Because if I was her, I would clench my purse too, because of the environment, because of my stature. Like, I'm not a smart guy. Like, if I choose to, I can overpower her. So how can I blame her for being prepared? So even in the space of work, right? And this is no shade, T, but there are times to where you don't say anything. Like, you are quiet. And then all of a sudden you...
And I completely... Did I not verbalize that? I did verbalize.
Can I finish saying what I'm saying?
Go ahead.
Can I finish talking? There are times, there have been times to where you probably wouldn't say anything, and then when you do say something, it's almost like a bear roaring.
No,
and I'm not saying that's the case, but what I'm saying is, how many times in a situation to where you feel like this person is expressing microaggression, do you check yourself? And the reason why I said check yourself is you be real with yourself. Now, with being real with yourself, is this even worth me expressing something about? Is this going to change this situation, or is it going to make it worse? Is this person in a position to receive what I'm saying? Am I going to ever see this person again? That's what I meant by real with yourself. Check yourself, weigh the outcome of it. Sometimes I may feel like a person is being microaggressive when all of a sudden it's just me, because of some things that I experienced growing up in my childhood. It's not always them. I don't take certain jokes well. That's not their fault. That's a me thing. That's when I have to start working on my inner child. That's what I mean by check yourself. Like, oh, okay, this is not them. It's not a her problem. It's a me problem now. That's kind of what I mean, and so on and so forth. But
and I get that. But just going back to that space, as we said in the description of microaggression, it's also a hostile or uncomfortable environment. In that environment where I let stuff go, yes, and when I do say something, and I'm subtle with it, I have my nice professional voice on when I address it. So when I do say something and it continues, and I'm like, okay, peeping game. That's just like when I addressed what my title is. When you hired me, you said I was the cook. Oh, well, we just might need you to help here and there. So there, over the weeks, the title started to change even when I clock in. And I'm like, that ain't what we said. Huh?
That need to be negotiated in your pay.
Exactly. But what I've peaked, and me and Dee have had this conversation, because of my situation, it's a point where they tend to want to take advantage, because they feel that I will not find another job that fit the needs that I need in order to be able to be available for my child. So along with that, is also the job that I had prior. They know what my duties was, but my title was different. So it's like they're trying to have me do all those things because they know my skill set and what I did then, and they're trying to get all of that without the title or the pay. Because every week it's a different add-on. Every week it's something different. And I'm like, okay. And they always looking to see what my facial expression was like. So I speak game.
Okay.
Definitely to the situation. And like I said, like the other day, example, before I leave, my kitchen is completely cleaned. So all of a sudden, the director comes at me about the door handles on the refrigerator, which they the ones you kind of stick your hand in and grip. I clean those every day. All of a sudden, oh, you need to make sure they're cleaned every day. I do clean them every day. But when I leave after 3 o'clock, I'm not responsible for what happens. So the next day or two, when I come in, someone was in there cutting up cucumbers and left the knife, the cucumbers in the bag that had spilled out, and the edges of the skin of the cucumber on the table. In addition to the class next door that's connected to the kitchen swept their trash into the kitchen.
Oh, it's not fun. I'm sorry.
So when she came in and good morning, and I was waiting to see if she was gonna say something, and I said, "So, did you notice the messing on the table?" No, yes, you did. Because you go in there and get the breakfast when I set it up. So you had to look at the table, reaching to get the stuff out of the refrigerator and the utensils that are on the table. So you seen it. But you didn't expect me to address it. I said, so that's the kind of stuff that I talk about when after I leave and people come in and cook and leave the dishes in the sink, mess up the stove. Stuff is everywhere. People then came in and used the plasticware, but left the package, the straw, and the napkin on the table or on the floor, and it's not being cleaned up. And then I'm getting y'all coming at me saying that the kitchen wasn't clean. Make it make sense. But when I address it with somebody,
but that's not microaggression though.
But and I get that. But the thing is, it's like different. What's my point is there's a difference. Just like the conversations, the things that said, it's still that difference that creates that uncomfortable environment where little stuff is said and it still drops on the other culture more, and the main culture gets the passes on things. So it's like I said, the little slick stuff that they do.
Yeah, okay.
And I feel like in that space, that's also what I was talking about, like the retaliation, because they're buddy, because her culture, her friend, some things are overlooked, so she's going to make things more difficult for you. That's kind of how that seems, and that falls under that retaliation bracket or umbrella. And it starts off as microaggression, but the fact that you have verbalized it and it continues, then it's no longer microaggression, because now you're just being
intentional.
Whatever you want to do. Yeah, and that's the point I was trying to make. And that's also why I asked, like, so how do you handle that stuff? So do you think at this point, is it still worth trying to express yourself on certain things? Like, have you
probably not, because she's not being
real with yourself? That's the point about being real with yourself. That's what I meant also.
Yeah.
So when you're not being heard, that's kind of what I meant.
I do agree with you on that, because I saw that from the jump. You we had this thing that they started, and of course it didn't last. Well, we had to fill out this weekly questionnaire about how our week was. What happened, what made it good, what made it bad, how was the admin, Do you feel supported? And they pretty much bullied us to complete it. Because you didn't complete it, they was coming to you. You didn't complete it, they wanted done by this. Well, in there, one of the things I complained about was where I said, where there's this particular kid that's in there, I won't say his name, but I didn't appreciate being hit, kicked, spit at, whatever. All that was dismissed. So why do you want the questionnaire if there's not going to be a resolution to the questionnaire? Because he not only did it to me, he does it to others as well as kids. But he's never been suspended, nothing like that. You know, I have a daycare background in being a director. The kids should have been dismissed, if not permanently suspended, because it's a day-to-day situation and he does it to multiple people. So I guess their comedy was, which happened last week, is they put me in the classroom with the little boy to open the classroom in the morning. And as soon as I seen what they did, I was like, oh, they funny. Huh?
No, that's retaliation.
Yeah. So I thought that was funny. And I was like, you show right. I peep it. You show right. So again, the next week happened, the same pretty much complaint. This time I had a bruise on my leg where he kicked me in my leg. I wrote that in the paper. That got dismissed too. So why have a paper to address situations that you may not feel this the staff is not addressing, but then you don't address it?
Because it looks good on paper, it looks good on file.
He had mistakenly run into a wall.
Yeah, because sadly he's us, but he gets away with a lot. And like I said, this is every day, all day. He on 20 all day. Like when a teacher got to leave the classroom to pretty much bleach their face because he spit and his spit had substance to it. And this is all day. Redirect, even tone, whatever.
Yeah, I feel sorry for y'all and teachers.
Man.
Cause it's getting bad.
It is. And you can't, when you try to address it, well, first of all, they're not going to address it with the parent. That's one of the big issues, is they don't believe in telling the parent on the child's behavior, even though the parent ain't dumb, because he's doing that same crap at home.
So,
They'll be speechless.
Nah, I was gonna say something because I was just thinking like how, because all in all of this stuff that we're talking about today has affects the victim in different ways. And listening to you talk about it, it's like you went from talking past tense to present. And it's like it's almost like you ain't no almost. It's like you got PTSD and you bringing it, and all those things that happened to you are coming forth right now. Yeah. And I was thinking about the effects of microaggression in just period, like how it has. I ain't gonna say it has the same effect as a traumatic event, and can cause like mental and physical ailments if it continues, like especially like in the workplace, like somewhere where you can go constantly.
Yeah,
and that's another part of that, being real with yourself. You know, you got to be real with yourself on all levels, so you can know how to handle it, not just how to handle it, how to address it, how to move forward from it. If you can't be honest with yourself on all levels of it, because everything starts with you, and even correcting your part or your micro aggressive behavior, because if you can't correct yours, then how can you expect Or how can you have a conversation about, so I can have a conversation about the other person corrected theirs towards you, because then that expression is going to be slanted. That's part of being real with yourself. Like, I ask myself, like, what instance have I been microaggressive, this and that? And sometimes I might get it all, but sometimes I may not always. But I have a better understanding of it, so I can now approach it and express my feelings towards it, and it's not just out of anger. It's because I really want to get past this. But you got to be real with yourself.
So let me understand this. So you're saying when dealing with microaggressions, we have to look at ourselves and see, did we basically bring this upon ourselves because of our subtle microaggressions?
No, not bring it upon yourself.
Okay.
But do I feel this way because of past experiences?
Oh, okay.
Do I feel this way because yeah, that's
okay. But see, then that goes back. That's almost like me just thinking. That's almost like victim blaming. It's like, am I feeling this way because of past experience? What your past experience shouldn't have nothing to do with how somebody talking slick to you. Because now it seems like what you're doing is justifying them talking slick to you.
Not justifying it, but it's helping you handle.
Go ahead.
Well, not justifying it, but helping you handle the situation properly.
Oh, okay.
That's why I said, how do you handle microaggression?
Oh, so okay.
I'm not justifying it. Yeah.
So for my just for my understanding. So you're saying, like, if it's a trigger for me, take that moment to realize it's a trigger, and then respond versus just blowing up and have to deal with it after the fallout. Okay.
Exactly.
Got it. Okay.
Okay, cool business.
Like,
so what
I'm listening to TK talk. No, go ahead.
No, go ahead. While you got that thought. Okay, so
I'm just saying I'm sitting back. It's a lag in the thing, so I'm gonna be quiet and I'll let you talk to you.
No, go ahead, say what you gotta say, because you forgetful. You know what? Because I'm finna go off topic to the next what's the name. That's why I'm saying say it, because I'm finna hit the other bullet point. So some of the other things that comes up, even with the genders, is like jobs. You don't look like a programmer to be a woman in technology. You know, that people feel like, okay, a woman can't be a plumber, she can't have other kind of jobs, or a man versus can't be a nurse because he's a man. I'm like, oh, you a nurse? Really? Those kind of things. Even talking about the LGBTQIA community, where somebody is gay and they say, oh, well, you don't look gay. Like, really? What is the look? And I know me being in a lot of the groups that I'm in for kids with disabilities, a lot of the parents complain that oh, he don't look like he have ADHD, or they don't look like they have autism. And then they dismiss what it is, and the treatment of the kid is different. I'll say that.
Dismiss it.
Yeah. Because they don't look like whatever they expect that look to be.
Ask them, like, what does a kid with autism look like?
That's an amazing question.
It's just like, for real. Just ask them, what does a kid with autism look like? Because I guarantee you, 9 times out of 10, and this comes back to what we was talking about in the beginning, where some of these microaggressions come from. It's because of what they have been exposed to. When they hear somebody is on the spectrum or autism or something like that, they see the shit that they be showing on TV when the kid be sitting in the back of the bus with a helmet on, licking the window. So they think, okay, that's what it's supposed to look like. And so if your child is not doing that, your child could be nonverbal. But if your child ain't sitting back there licking the window, doing drooling and stuff, oh, he's fine. Or having what do they call it, motor skills issue, they think he's fine. And I don't think that's microaggression. I think that's just straight ignorance. Now, if they're continuously picking at it, then now it's becoming a microaggressive, and that's when you get major aggressive.
Bet that.
Yeah, in that space of dealing with like kids with autism or any space when in the workplace, I think a lot of times people are just misinformed. Like, and that's what DA was speaking about. Like, they don't know the difference between a person with autism and a person with Down syndrome. They don't know the difference. And on so many levels, it's just a level of the individual being misinformed, right? Mm-hmm. So when they are misinformed, how do you handle it? Like, do you approach them as if they know, or do you try to direct them? Look, this is how it looks. It doesn't look like the way you think it looks.
I just had to do that this week.
Yeah.
A friend of mine with the so everybody know the key word now is woke. That's the word of the century is woke. So we were having a conversation about politics and stuff, and he said, "Oh, that's that woke culture," and I was like, "No, it's not. It's not the woke culture. Because if you understood what the woke culture was, you'll understand that is far from it." And so I just broke it down and told him where it came from and how it came about. And he was like, "Oh, I didn't know that." And conversations like that need to be had when these microaggressions come about, because it's like this. I look, and this is just me. If you're watching this has nothing to do with the show. This has nothing to do with how everybody thinks. This is just how I think. Again, it's just how I think. DA, this is what DA thinks. If you do it one time and I correct you and give you the correct information, from that point on, it's free game. Because you chose to continue to act in a behavior that you know is wrong, that you accept is wrong, that has been explained to you that is wrong. It's just like a child. Don't come in this house with your shoes on. Mm-hmm. Why? Because you're going to track mud throughout the house. Okay, you understand. Yes. You do it again, I'm putting fire on your ass. That's the same
and
thing.
it is no longer microaggression at that point. That's the point.
You made a choice.
At all.
Yep.
You made a choice. And I still think, even if it's new to us, if the microaggression is new to us, somebody along the lines had told this individual that is wrong, that you shouldn't do that. And they still made that conscious effort, because you can tell when something is innocent versus something is being malice. You can tell if somebody just does not truly know versus somebody who's doing the shit on purpose. You can tell. The delivery is different. Excuse me. The delivery is different. Just like the delivery is different, the body language is different, the whole context of how it's used is different. But if they on some wild shit, you don't know. And that's when you put fire to that ass.
But it's really worth it, though. But is it really worth putting fire to everybody that
So you, yeah, because you have to. Again, we always say this. You have to set boundaries. If I tell you one time, I don't play like that. Why are you gonna test the water? And I'm a patient person. I have to eat 2 or 3 times.
Yeah. But after the fact, though, after that 3rd, 4th, 5th time, like, who is the boundary for? And the boundary that's been set, who is that boundary for?
The boundary is for me, for their safety.
It's for you. So you set the boundary for yourself. Now, if you don't set a boundary and somebody cross that boundary and you set fire to that ass, as you so eloquently put it, you remove yourself. That's the boundary. But I get what you're saying, though, bro.
Yeah, same thing. You can remove yourself after you put
other than your children. Oh, yeah. That too. Last week he wanted to shoot up the place. This week he ready.
Man, I'm telling you, he just violent lately.
No play last year.
Yes, you did.
Yeah,
yes, you did.
Do
you want me to pull the clip?
I'll share it with you. I will share the clip with you.
I ain't say nothing about shooting.
But that's the thing about it,
though. Look.
Don't believe these
folks. Go back and watch last week's episode.
They drinking. You've been drinking all night.
Go back and watch last week's episode. So anyway, and again, that's that umbrella when it falls away from microaggression, because now you are intentional. You know what you're doing. I've expressed this to you, and you're choosing not to listen. And now it's way past that. So now how are we gonna handle this? If you want to see the monster, I'll show you the monster. I'm trying to be cool with you.
DA, I should have sent you a box of hugs for your Christmas present.
Man, look here, I'm straight. I'm just telling you like it is. I'm just telling like it is. It's like, cause like, and this is the other thing. When dealing with this stuff, you can't. In these situations, you can't pussyfoot shit. You can't sit here and sugarcoat, because then it's like you kind of wavering, like, okay, it's cool, but nah, you got to tell them straight up, nah, I don't eat watermelon. All black people don't eat watermelon. All black people don't like fried chicken. No. Where you get that dumb shit from anyway? Well, I saw it on TV. Well, you need to start watching fucking TV. Read a book. Shit like that.
And that's true. Miss 24/7 Diva said people do be playing in your face, and that's what it's touching. Yeah. People do play in your face, but what you don't want to do is you don't want to give them a reason to continue to play in your face. When you feed off into it, they tend to intensify.
I'm gonna give them a reason to keep playing. I'm gonna give them a reason to stop.
And what you definitely don't want to do is get yourself in trouble behind somebody's stupidity. That's what you don't want to do.
Oh shit! I'm gonna give him a reason to stop.
Leave that there. We don't.
You gonna?
All right. So that's microaggression. That's our take on it.
Damn, you closing out the show.
There's so much more to unpack. We cannot unpack it all in an hour and a half, but we will do our best. We do have our professional. It's DA, if you don't know about it.
Yeah, it's look, it's all fun. It's all fun and games. It's all fun and games. But I'm so serious.
Yeah. So there is some seriousness and some great nuggets in this episode.
Yeah.
So just stick out. Eat the meat, leave the bones. How about that?
Yeah.
Me and TK, we did. Me and TK, we did do our homework. He came ready to scrap, so it's all good.
Okay,
and so most of my shit from life experience.
True.
And ain't nothing wrong with that, man. Ain't nothing wrong with it. We all bring something unique to the table, which is why we rock together.
Definitely. So, question: do you feel like there's microaggressions when it comes down to age?
Of course.
Age. Oh, right. or the old people think that you can't say nothing because you ain't. Oh, yeah, is that microaggression?
Or are you too young to understand because you ain't lived, you don't know nothing?
It's straight across the board. It's straight across the board because like kids look at it. Oh, this the shit that get me. When a motherfucker told me your ass is old if your birth date start with a 1 and a 9, bruh, I'm about to snap the face out his. He said you old because your birthday started with a 1 and a 9. I'm like, bitch.
Wait, I sent you that video this week. I know I sent it to DJ. I don't remember which group I sent it to about the climbing. If you was born in 19 something and then you climbing up them stairs and you all out of breath and stuff.
I think you took it to both of us. I think you took it to both of us in our list. But
and then another little kid. This one was a middle school kid. They asked him when was last century, and then he said 1990, and I was like, damn, he is right though. I was like, damn, he is right.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit.
I think it's a difference when it comes to like our age and the generations underneath us, as opposed to the older generation, because we have the whereabouts and the know-abouts to know that just because they're younger doesn't mean that they're not experiencing life, and sometimes that life in a hard way. But when we was growing up, the older generation, they literally thought that we were not experiencing life. It was not until like the 80s and 90s when those lights started going off. And like, yeah, just because they're young, they still have troubles and traumas. So I think the difference shifted with our generation, and now how we react to the kids is supposed to be seen and not heard. Or how come you got a headache? You ain't did nothing to have a headache. Your head don't hurt. Or like, you know,
your back
nerves. You ain't got no nerves. Yeah. Because I really feel like the old people older than us, they really believed that we ain't like nobody could get on our nerves.
You ain't got no nerves.
But we know better.
Yeah, because that's what.
But then you also got to look at it too. And this what really kind of hit me in the throat when I thought about it.
Well, we talked about that earlier. Beauty B, when they touch your hair. Yeah, we talked about that earlier.
Yeah. This hit me in the throat when I had to think about it. Think about everything that the generation that raised us. Think about everything that they went through. Because like in reality, if you really want to break it down, we are the first generation that was born with the right to vote. Born with the right to do a lot of shit.
Exactly.
So a lot of the stuff that they were saying wasn't like, and again, like I said, it hit me in the throat because I had to really sit down and think about it. It wasn't that they were saying it to be malice. It was that environment that they was in. They didn't want us to be labeled as different things. So like if you said, oh, I got a headache, they didn't want you to be labeled as sickly. Oh, you ain't got no headache. You ain't got no reason not to have a headache. Because the stress that they were dealing with, or back problems, stuff like that. Because again, they didn't want you to be labeled as sickly or a problem. So, and that's just like I think that trickle. I know it trickled down to us when it comes to dealing with. I know we off subject now, but it trickled down to us when it comes to dealing with autism, stuff like that. Because now we're dealing with stuff that we really don't know about. And we already know we went through folks getting clowned. Oh, he in the sped class. Oh, he in the short bus. So we looking at our kids and stuff like, damn, I don't want my child to experience that type of stuff. Yeah. So I'm ignorantly, as ignorant as it may sound, I'm gonna protect them by not allowing them to be labeled like that, by not allowing them to see people to get the help. We're gonna try to do it in-house. And again, that's that goes back to what you said earlier about what's inside of us, the trauma that's inside of us, and we just put it on the child. That's the same thing with a SA victim, a sexual assault victim, somebody who was molested. They become overly protective, or is either they become overly protective of their kids, or really, really hands off. It's not that balance. They like, oh, you can't look at my child and da 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 da, or they allow their child to be sexually free.
Overly promiscuous, yeah.
So yeah. All right, come on from football now.
No, and I agree with what you said, wholeheartedly. With me working with kids, I hear that from parents a lot, that they had this whatever slight disability, they put them in the special class, as they would call it, and they didn't want their child labeled. But then in that same aspect, they will not get their child help because they don't want the label, but the child suffers. And as it goes through the years and there's nothing being done to help balance or even address the situation to where there's some help, or you're learning and figuring out different things, it gets worse down the line to a point where the kid now is having really big issues functioning, not only at school but home, and it gets bad to where now the police are called, or somebody's calling CPS because it's out of control. So it's kind of that catch-22 on the point, where you're trying to protect your child from getting that label, to now that child is suffering through life, and because they're not getting that help or assistance that they need.
Right.
So yeah, that's a hard one, but it's actually common, and I hate to say it, and it's common amongst us.
Yeah, because I hate to say it, because that's how we now we really getting off subject, but that's how we hid our pain. We hid our pain by jokes, by laughter. We say it all the time. We hide our pain with jokes, with laughter. Who said it best? Laugh at my pain.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like when you talk about people that stutter, when you talk about people who are dyslexic, when you talk about people who are like back in the day were fat, who are whatever, dark skin. Hell, we talked about these. We used to call it, and now looking back at it, this is the worst shit we used to say to each other. We used to call each other African booty scratchers.
Yeah.
And now looking back at it, like, damn, we are from Africa, like, but we didn't know. So yeah.
No, I agree. Yeah.
When y'all ready to do our outros?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Definitely can. You finished your tea? You finished your tea over there? Did you finish your tea over there?
Yeah.
Okay. What kind of tea is that?
That's it's called a detoxifying tea. It's a detox one.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I mix it with a turmeric tea.
Mixed it with some vodka on the cool. I'm just not gonna say that. But,
nah, I haven't been drinking. I hadn't had a drink since I told you.
I know. Believe me, I know. We had this conversation this week. Remember? I'm proud of you, though.
Now. It's rough.
I know. But you got it.
What made you
start? Came to a realization that I came to a realization that I was drinking to numb myself to certain realities, and
Understood.
I don't want to numb myself. I need to feel my emotions through, and not drink and then expect it to be gone the next day. So
Understood.
emotions want to be felt; they need to be felt. So I'm in that space. I'm in the space of some additional growth and healing, and we'll talk about that. I don't want to get too much into it
Yeah,
right
yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah,
We can have a
yeah.
show about it if y'all want. So in my outro, I'll just say, um, be real with yourself, and everything starts within. It starts with you. And I can only speak for myself, but I understand that there's let's say, a little boy, a child inside of me, right, that wants to be playful, that wants to handle situations a certain way. But if I'm not honest with myself, then I'll just continue to suppress that child that needs to get out and be expressive. Um, and that helps me not to be explosive. That helps me to emphasize when someone is expressing something. It also helps me to express myself when I'm trying to express how an action made me feel. Everything starts within. Everything starts with you. We cannot always deflect our feelings and our emotions and project them on everybody else. Um, it helps us to be vulnerable with our friends, with the people that we're in a relationship with, and we be real with ourselves and we tap in. That vulnerability allows us to cultivate organic, whole, healthy relationships. But it always starts with you and being real and being honest with yourself. That's all I got.
MDA, what you got?
So check it out. I ain't been, hey, I ain't on that righteousness right now. When it comes to microaggressions, one, you have to understand where they coming from, because a lot of microaggressions come from insecurities and lack of knowledge. So once you understand that, then you'll be able to understand how to respond to that. Sometimes you have to be harsh. Sometimes you could be easy, but you just can't let it be. You just can't let it ride, because you let it ride today on you, it's going to continue to happen until somebody who can't take it reacts. And their reaction may be a lot worse than your reaction. So it's easier to just stop it then and move it forward. And we all know if you say something, it's going to be that uncomfortable silence. Yes. So, like, that's what it's got to be. If they don't want to talk to you no more, they don't want to talk to you no more. That's fine.
That'd
But
be
they
a blessing.
understand that you know what they're doing, you understand what they're doing, and you're not going to tolerate it. And that's my intro. No, my outro. You know what I'm trying to say. Shit.
Look, you didn't got straight confused.
For
Lord.
real.
I'll say this. Yeah, you're not dumb to the fact that people be trying to play in your face and play the little game. A lot of people are very aware of what they are doing.
Mm-hmm.
And again, some may not be, but you can always tell by if it continues and how they doing it, because they'll even switch it up a little bit. You know, it was once pink, now it's orange. They're gonna switch it up a little bit, make it look different, but it's still be in that same realm of how they were doing it before. Um, a lot of people, like DJ said, a lot of people, it's not even worth addressing, because a lot of times people just like being ignorant and they just gonna be who they are. But I also agree with DA with some things have to be addressed. It's just how much energy are you gonna give them, and how low vibrational are you gonna be with the situation. So there's always a means to an end, I'll say. So as we get ready to close, we do thank y'all for, of course, always rocking with us and tuning in to tonight's episode. Again, if you have not, please like, share, as well as subscribe and hit the notification bell on the YouTube. Next week, Lord Jesus, we're going to have to pray. Lord, we're going to have to pray for next week's episode. So next week's episode will be our Christmas episode.
Dashing through the snow on a one-horse open sleigh.
Are we going to do it?
Laughing.
Some people still ain't got there yet.
You said we going to what?
Are we going to do it? Because some people still ain't got there yet.
Yeah, yo,
well, I mean, you look everything in a row.
Tuesday.
Yours should be there sometime this week.
Yeah. So your gift, your second gift, will be there on Tuesday.
Okay.
And I think on my end it said Thursday. I'll check and I'll let you know. But I mean, even if not, we can still go on.
Yeah,
we just
still have
catch up.
Because we typically do our little Christmas episode anyway, but we are supposed to. We are doing gift exchange. Lord Jesus, shall we pray, Father God? So we will be opening gifts on the podcast. We'll be in our little Christmas spirit. Maybe, well, hell, DJ looked the closest to Santa Claus. Maybe he'll look like he have a little Santa hat on since the beard already. All right,
yeah,
right there.
I got one.
Yeah,
definitely.
We had a nice little question. Who is the Grinch? Out the three, who do y'all think is?
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch.
Yes. So let's see what the poll will be on that episode. But definitely
we ain't gotta do a poll. What's wrong, buddy? What's wrong with your face?
Boy, I tell you, I just don't know. But again, thank y'all for tuning in. Be safe these holidays. Because, the porch pirates are doing what they do. They swiping gifts from the porch in a whole different way. Yeah, they bringing a wagon to the door to load all your stuff up. Walk away like it's theirs. I've seen some crazy videos of the people stealing stuff. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, it's been tough.
Yeah, ain't no limits.
All right, everybody. So tune in next Friday. Yeah. Tell people about us. If you like what you hear, come back, like, share, subscribe, like our awesome host said. And when you come back next week, bring somebody with you. Yeah.
Definitely.
With you. We're gonna get it in.
Sound like a church.
Yeah, I thought about that after I said it. I said, man, that sounds real churchy.
Yeah, it did. It really did.
I can't
all you needed to do now was the doors of the church are open.
There you go.
But on that note, we are out. Y'all be safe. We love y'all and appreciate y'all always.
Peace.
Yeah, what's up with it? Do it cause I love it and I stuck with it. We ain't with the subbing in the cut with it. Please none of the talks, I heard enough of it. Like, what you gonna do? Where you at? Who you with? You ain't really about this. Don't talk about it. Really on the move.